Aloha! Welcome into the show. I'm Dr. Iron Chef, and guess this is later tonight. Playing a new game called DC Dark Legion, and glad you can be here. We are simulcasting live on Twitch and on YouTube. It's a little bit different time for us, but we'll figure all of this out. But good to see you, Ranson. Thanks for being here. Appreciate our leader of our alliance. Not sure what it's called in the game. Actually, is it alliance? Is it something else? I gotta figure that one out. But welcome in. We're gonna be doing some of the game today. Ranson is a super nice guy. He is. If you are familiar with the other game we played, um, it's it's leagues. Okay, just like Justice League. There you go. So not a professional streamer quite yet. Is what we are playing in Star Trek, not Star Trek. DC Dark Legion. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get used to this. It's going to take a while, but we are here, and I had every intention to be on camera, suffering from this. It started this morning. I had a meeting this morning. I was late to the meeting because I was just having a hard time taking the headache. Got my coffee. That didn't help any. More of a neck pain kind of thing. And I was intending to take Tylenol before I left the house, but I even forgot to do that because I was discombobulated. And then we went to the meeting, and we had our Gotham event going on halfway through the meeting. So I was frantically trying to set things up. This is a volunteer board, so it's not like technically working right. And then I left a little bit early, another meeting, and he unfortunately did not win. But it was a good try. My audio is going in. Oh, okay, that's my noise. Let me adjust this a little. Sorry. Again, we're doing a little bit different setup. This is not our normal setup. Again, trying to figure out gross. Oh, I can see the noise gate is. Oh, so. Thank you for that. Turn off. Mom is not both of them. Wait, I can totally see flickering. Or turn off. Turn off the noise gate. Turn off the noise gate. That should work. Now, if the kids, you'll probably hear the kids as they go up and down the stairs. So, but thank you for doing that. Yeah. No, that is because it's in OBS, which is kind of the streaming software that we put up a noise gate because when we're doing the podcast. So if you don't know, we do a Aloha This podcast. It's a again different branded stuff that I can't talk about on this stream. It is the microphones are just really too close together, and so we put up this noise gate hoping that it would actually prevent it bleeding over into the other microphone. But it's just me tonight, and it's just Sharky. Did we introduce Sharky to everybody? If you're new here, which some of you probably are, this is Sharky. He is with Squiddy. You see over there. I don't know if I have it configured even. See, this is why. Yeah, he can dance and other stuff. So, and now that I think about it, so there are a few things we don't do like music in the background normally, but because we are, and this is I'm gonna have to adjust it too because I can. It's bleeding even into my microphone. Okay, so I will have to put the noise gate up. So let me know, Ranson, since you're here, is the music too soft, too loud? It's just background noise. So we did a lot of composing on music over the past couple of days just for this stream. So music is fine. Okay. It's just background noise. It is just background noise right now. Yeah, so we had to revamp the whole thing. Usually it's a very chill stream, which could be borderline boring, and that's part of it. But we're trying to spice up a little bit because we are doing DC Dark Legion, and I think it's a little bit more active game. There's a lot of PvE and PvP battles, and yeah, we'll kind of go with it. So we'll be here around. Scribbler said she'll stop by when she'll get a chance, and hopefully she'll be able to come on screen and join us. I'm going to figure how we're going to work this out. If Sharky is kind of going to be the main thing, or if I'm on camera, or if it's probably both. It probably is a little bit of both. So, but again, new thing, trying this out. The multi-streaming seems to be working. This is how far I've been going. Mind adding me, okay. Nice to meet you. I appreciate you doing it. We have a Discord as well, and I just set up. Okay, so again, we are just starting brand new with a new game. So maybe this is what it is. We've been playing maybe about June. Maybe it was June. So about 5 months that we started on server 61. Of course, Ranson is our leader of our league, and it's been a lot of fun. And he actually, can I say this? You actually have some connection because you were a big deal in the other game that we play. So that it's kind of neat that we ended up on the same league and server and whatnot. And we're kind of super happy because I might have. I don't think I mentioned it here, but I did mention it to Ranson that I remember the video that he did with Rev, our good friend Rev Deuce. And when he mentioned that he was the one, I was like, oh, yes, I remember this like 5-6 years ago or something like that. We are 7 years into the other game. And hopefully we'll get to year 9-10 as well. But in the meantime, again, this is going to be super hard because we're transitioning to a new thing. I do apologize to DC Dark Legion. I think I can mention it a little bit, but not just talk about it the whole time. We're not transitioning. We're kind of just like doing both. So this is a fun game. I play it all the time. It is a game where I don't have to worry about different things to do because there's a whole bunch of different things to do. And then when they're done, then I can just put the phone down or put the computer away and play something else or actually do work. I should be doing work. So that's where it is. But yeah, welcome in for those of you here. Again, this is a new thing. We'll kind of I haven't even done like the advertising for it. So I'm glad that it's a smaller crowd today because then we can just test a whole bunch of stuff out, see if they work. Because I am not sure if everything works right now. And then we'll probably DJs is on, so we will probably go and check out DJs when he comes back for Studio B later on. And he said something about, well, I guess it's not going to be tonight because wasn't able to get the hype train up to level 10. So tomorrow we'll be playing another game. See, it's very much like there's a lot of gaming stuff going on. So yeah, so that's kind of how where we are right now. All right, so if that's the case, let's get into the game. We'll explain a little bit about it. Again, this is more of a first test stream because we have been in contact with the game CMs, and we'll have some bigger announcements in a little bit. We have received an invite to their content creator program, and there's a few things to button up. But been able to talk to some other content creators, and they're a very nice group of people. So trying to get to know them a little bit and learn more from them as well. So again, DC Dark Legion, it is a game that is kind of a hero collector game, and then there's also a lot of like building stuff. So this is the Batcave, and I'm playing it on BlueStacks, so you might see other content creators play it. It is a more of a mobile game, so the aspect ratio would be more of your mobile phone aspect ratio. I play it here on BlueStacks so I can get more space and whatnot. So it's kind of neat. You can kind of zoom in here a little bit. I haven't figured out how all the zooms work, but yeah, if I can just check this out. This is the research lab, which I don't have anyone in there. We'll talk about why I don't have anyone in there. And this is actually really good for Gotham. So when we play some of the other battles, I'm actually able to see a lot more of the screen. So and it doesn't. I don't know if you can do this in the PC client. There is a PC client as well. I have to check that out. But there is on BlueStacks at least, we're able to do some fancy parts of the aspect ratio. So it's a square aspect ratio, whatever it is. All right. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so maybe we'll start. So we're doing some collections. There's a couple of things here. This is our war room. If you first start the game, this is what the main thing to upgrade, to kind of upgrade your ops to get more power to your heroes. And there's some of the other things that you can look at as well. This is the world map, which is some kind of every so many hours. Oh, here, Scribbler, our friend Scribbler. You can actually help and assist with some other people's tasks. You send out your heroes and their ships to do them. Not to worry about power because we're already at level 35. But when you're first starting out, there is a little difference in the power. So these are some of the our league mates tasks that we're assisting with. Mariko is also a friend from our community, and these are the shorter ones. So we just collect them. And you see up here, they refresh in 4 hours, 35 minutes. So every 6 hours or so. There's some other refreshes that is aware, which is pretty neat. I kind of like that as well. So oh, see, our friend Ransons, who's in the chat, is doing one of these battles. So you can join to assist, although he probably doesn't need any assistance because he's a super high level. But yeah, these are daily battles. We can actually see it better here. They're called the Defeat the Dark Legion. You have 5 of these attempts these days and you get rewards from them. There's also a combat cycle. So, he launched one, I can launch one as well. You get up to 5. You can join your league mates as much as you want. So sometimes I just kind of hang out and just get some rewards from there. You get more rewards if you launch them. There's this anti-crime network where you can get some rewards as well. There's a kind of a minute-by-minute drip of these intel point chests or tokens. And so I can just do a raid and then I'll get additional claim here of these. These are used to raise champion levels caps. And then there's some currency here that you can use for purchasing items. We're not running into the lack of currency right now, although it may be when we get to leveling our heroes a little bit more. There's a meta brawl, which I need to do some of these. This is kind of where you get into the PvP aspect of it. And again, I'm not as high level as some other people. So you can choose, my power level is about a little less than 9 million. So I'm gonna try and we'll try one of these right now, just to show it. Hi, how you doing, BY Destroyer? Rex, welcome into the stream. Good to see you. We are simulcasting on YouTube and Twitch, so you might not see some of the other chat if you're on the other platform. But welcome in. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dr. Iron Chef, and glad to have you here. We're streaming DC Dark Legion for the first time. Yeah, this is the first time we're streaming it. So I'm wondering if I do have other games running in the background. Let me shut that down. So that might be affecting some of the loading times right now. Usually it's not that laggy, but I am running some things in the background, so I should shut that down as well. Okay, so these are our champions. It says it's a close call, although I'm not quite sure about that because my power is a lot higher. You can put different heroes here. I kind of am using this for some other things. So we have Wonder Woman. That was there here. I can't show the characters, but Wonder Woman there is Death Metal Wonder Woman, which is a new character. Very much a heavy investment into her. And then my mainstays is Superman family minus Superman, which is kind of ironic. So we have Supergirl. We have. I should show Let me show them in a different location so we can kind of get a better sense of what they look like. That's not the best place to show all of them. So Crypto is there, and then of course Superboy. All right, so we have different characters. We're showing Supergirl a little bit here. I don't think I have the sound on for. I don't have the sound on for the game. And then there's Superboy here. There's some other characters that we mentioned. Death Metal Wonder Woman. Pretty cool. If you haven't read the comics that have come out, I think they came out a few years ago. This is within the past 5 years, I'm sure. Kind of a redoing of the whole DC universe. And again, another reboot of the DC universe. So you hope Superman rerun banner comes back because your Superman is 2 yellow stars. Yeah, I agree. I hope it comes back. I know we are currently in. I'm not sure what server you're on. Sorry, there's people in the Twitch side, which I'll talk to you a little bit. I'm Mord. Yeah, I'm not sure what server it is. I think there's like 4 different bleed calendars. So bleed is when they generate a new character base. So I know that there's at least I've seen 4 different calendars for that. We're on 361, which is I think the second group. So you're on 214. Okay, so you're in the mainstay. Yeah, I think because they had the Superman event when the movie came out, they really need to have another one for people who haven't gotten a full 5 stars of Superman. So yeah, I agree. I hope that they have another Superman banner. I like the fact that they're doing banner reruns where they have the 2 main ones, and then they have a third one for reruns. And eventually, they might have to do a 4th one. They might have to do a 4th one. So, but good to see you. Nice to see that you're on server 214. I know that's one of the issues that we're gonna have to face is that I'm on a server that is a little bit older, younger, maybe younger, I guess, a little bit later in the server deployment. And so our banner is a whole lot different than a lot of the other banners. So it's going to be a little challenge, but we'll figure it out. Hi, Mord. How you doing? Another one of our friends, content creator. I am not the best at all content creator for our new game, DC Dark Legion. So, yeah. That's Scribbler's thing. She likes to read the fixes, so she will probably be the one reading all the fixes in our videos as well. So yeah, let me give a quick shout out to Mord. If you don't follow Mord, please follow. Plays the other game that we play, which we'll just kind of do that. No, there are really some really good content creators. I'm super humbled to be in their group. They do a really good job. They know the game very well. They are very good content creators. So, but yeah. So if you haven't, did that show up on the screen? See, I got these other things in front of me. So yeah. So if you get a chance, check out Mord from Australia. And so streams for us in the United States a little bit later, but I get a chance to catch him every once in a while because I'm in Hawaii. So I get the best of both worlds. I get to see all of our Apex streamers and our European streamers, as well as our United States streamers. All right, so yeah, so these are the characters. My favorite right now that we've kind of invested a lot in is Supergirl. I think she does a lot of damage for AOE, and that's one of the things. She has a piece here. There's different gears that you can upgrade, but the main thing is equipment that we can put on as well. So this is her cape, and has additional things, including the 25% attack up. And as you upgrade her cape, then her abilities go up as well. So we're only at level 1 here and level 2. So lots to go there. I think the fan favorite is Crypto, for sure. So I think that's just been a fan favorite for a lot of people. And Crypto acts as a healer and good support, not just for Superman family, but for a lot of other teams as well. Okay, so we'll go back to the Meta Brawl, and we'll kind of do something like that. Oh, no, I agree. I am in need to learn as much as possible about the game to kind of min-max everything. I am one of those people that like to be very efficient with things, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But yeah, I agree. There needs to be a lot more streamers out there. I know that I don't even know their full names. Eve, I know she goes by Eve on Twitter, but I know she streamed yesterday because it was her birthday, so she streamed about 5 hours here. This might not be the team I usually use, but because I'm doing other things, Wonder Woman needs to be started up a little bit more, so I'm just going to put Death Metal Wonder Woman, and then I will put Superman here. A little bit more power. It went from close to easy win, and we'll do a fight. I think I'm on 2x, so I'm gonna slow it down a little bit just so you can see what it looks like here. Oh, I can't. Yeah, I can't do it. Actually. Oh, here it is. So I have it on auto because most of the time it's on auto, but I actually can do a manual. See, wasn't too difficult of a victory because I haven't played this much today. I'm finding that if you do it later, for me in the afternoon here, which it's about 3:35, you can actually keep your score higher because as other people do PvP, and it's asynchronous PvP, where you're fighting against other players. You set your defenses how you like, which I better check how that is. You can gain or lose points accordingly. So if I look at here, I did lose a few, so a little bit higher power. I should again check my defense. What is my defense here? I haven't done a lot of that. Okay, so I do have Wonder Woman here, so I probably have to. I'm gonna put Death Metal Wonder Woman, and Supergirl could go in the front, but they're both kind of tanky, Superman and Supergirl. Is Death Metal Wonder Woman worth it? I think she is, for a couple reasons, and it depends on how you play. So let's go back. So Death Metal Wonder Woman is the highest level or tier of champion that's available. Most of the champions are mythic or what they call mythic plus. The mythics are the ones you can get pretty much through different arenas in terms of, you know, they're in here. I can show you some of the areas they're in. You can do pulls for your different mythic, what they call mythic plus champions. So in this one it's Starfire, and then of course Hawk Girl, which is not right now not really a highly used character. We are trying to figure out, you know, who uses what characters a lot. And then Deathstroke is here. So again, this is a rerun. You know what? I wonder if I need to change my settings, because again, we haven't streamed before, so this is all new with OBS, and it's not liking. It is not liking how things are operating right now. So I might have to change some settings. I apologize. But I've been pulling for Starfire, so we can do some pulls. Why am I in the... Okay, thank you. See, this is why we need friends to help us out. Why am I in the... Hold on one second. So I'm looking at my stuff and it says... Oh yeah, it is. I changed it somewhere else and I didn't change it here. Great. Thank you. That's what happens when you try to do too much. Thank you very much. Yeah, wrong category. You know what is amazing? So Destroyer, we're talking about this, like there needs to be more streamers. I'm looking at Twitch, and there is a DC Dark Legion category, and there's only 443 followers. So that tells me that there hasn't been a lot of streaming going on as well. So you're absolutely correct. There needs to be more, and there's a lot of talented people in the community. So I'm hoping that there are a lot more people to stream. Just to explain what we do here, we kind of just hang out with friends. We try to, you're all family, you're all part of Ohana, and we appreciate the ability to just like hang out. So yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna have to change my settings because it's not quite working how it's supposed to be, and it could be because Sharky's on. We were planning to again put on the camera. Maybe I should turn off my camera to save some of the power. I'm not sure. Computing power. Your server has 2 limited mythic plus summon banners, and they are refunds. You got Nightwing and Constantine. Oh, okay. That's the new change, right? Isn't that the new change? The Nightwing runs for 4 weeks and Constantine is 1 or 2 weeks. I think it is 1 week. I could be wrong, but they were changing it up. So for us, yeah, we have the 2 because we haven't gone through all of the champions. And again, when we talk about there's different calendars, it is differences among the earlier servers, and then for us that we're in the second round of servers. 3rd round is different, 4th round is different, and we're actually at the end. We're on server 161, I believe. 361. I think 362 starts the 3rd generation of banners, like banner calendars. So it is a little different. 1 week of Constantine. Yeah. Hi Mariko, how you doing? First time chatter. I'm sorry. I might have missed you earlier when we're trying to change it. So, but how are you doing, Mariko? I apologize. I'm trying to figure out how to stream DC Dark Legion. And thanks for being here. Yeah, nice to see you as well. Before I turn off the camera, because I had set it up, let me see if I can switch over real quick. I am fighting a little bit of a headache. That's why I'm kind of using Sharky. But we'll do a little bit of stream on camera, and then we'll turn it back off again because I found that if I gotta turn on the lights too. I'm gonna have to turn on the lights as well. Okay, we'll turn on the lights real quick, and then we'll switch over. Hi, how you doing? Okay, so we are playing DC Dark Legion, but I'm glad you're here, Mariko. Thank you for all the chests that happened in the last. I didn't even thank you for you sent a whole bunch of chests from the event we just had with Death Metal Wonder Woman, and I was really appreciative of that. I was really appreciative of that. Thank you, Mort. All right. So we will. I gotta figure out this chair too. I feel like I'm like in a weird position when I'm playing on this chair. You like sending out? Well, you sent a whole bunch of them over to me, and I was like, "This is great." And then I was like, "I haven't sent back as much." I felt a little bit bad about that as well. All right, so there's kind of dailies as well. I'm not sure. They're like a meta daily. So I'm collecting the rewards here. This is what we use to upgrade some of the pieces, the legacy pieces. So like Wonder Woman or Supergirl, they have their special weapons that you can upgrade through there. Wonder Woman doesn't have one. Death Metal Wonder Woman has one. And then there's some other rewards as well. And so we were very successful. Maui is our big kahuna over there and did well. I know Ransom was sometimes is the one that takes the lead there. I finished 5th, so that's why I got those rewards. Ransom is above me, of course. And then Maui, of course, is here at the top. But there's a league duel. We're competing against other other teams. So yeah, so not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, and again, apologize. This is totally different for me. I usually, again, don't play up music playing. I don't. We're a little bit more reclined in the chair. so there's that. Hi, Falcon Paul. Welcome in. Good to see you. Lost in, dude. Thank you for the raid. How was your game? I appreciate it. Hi, Zero G's, Drastic. Howdy to you, Donzino, Bacon Fish. Let me get some shoutouts real quick. So again, Lost In is a great player in the other game that we play. Oh, it's behind the things. Thank you. Thank you very much. But has become a very good alliance mate as well, or arena mate, I guess you would call that. Wasn't get a chance to follow to play yesterday, but we were able to do some things. Hi, thank you for the follow, Sand Coffin. I do appreciate that as well. Again, we're simulcasting on Twitch, on YouTube, so you might be seeing some stuff if you're on the YouTube side, and we're responding to chat, but it's our friends that have rated in as well. We have some other streamers here as well. Again, if you got to see the state of the game this morning, our friend Zero G's, and I saw Drastic Leak in here as well. So I didn't ask Drastic if he ever got my Discord message as well. So yeah, so we're playing DC Dark Legion. We're invited to be a content creator for their team. So we're saying there's just one more piece of thing that needs to be done. But I am in their Discord server and I have access to all the channels and just meeting the other content creators over at DC Dark Legion. This doesn't mean I'm not going to be doing the other a game that we usually play, and we're hoping any day now that there'll be also an announcement for the content creator program there. But because I'm doing this kind of officially now, we limit. There's a couple of things. We limit the discussion of other games. As you can see, one of the things we have here is the Aloha Diz blanket up because we can't show other intellectual property. So we can't as well. Is Scribbler in the chat? Thank you very much. Hi, Scribbler. Have you been here like a long time? Oh, send you a stream together invite. Okay, hold on. We're gonna have Scribbler come on the stream here. Did I close that down? I closed it down. I had it open earlier and then I closed it down. Okay, we'll start the stream together. And so hopefully Scribs can join us. Let's invite her as a guest. And thank you for moderating. It's good to have our mods come in and help out. Falcon Paw, I know Zero G's is a mod. I should make more people mods. Scribbler. Okay. Invite is sent, Scribs. So while she's getting ready, I have a lot of questions, by the way. So you can help me out with a lot of stuff. Let me get back to my screen here, and then let me put this on the side. Sorry. I have 5 monitors up, and 5 monitors is still not enough for all the things that we're trying to do with this stream. So we're in a level 5 hype train. So I just turn away to invite Scribbler to stream, and Lost In drops 20 gifted subs. Thank you, Lost In. You are like one of the most generous people, and thank you very much, and thank you for the 20 gifted. I see Candy White is here with the 100 bits. Candy White is also another great streamer and graphic designer. So if you didn't see the ugly sweater that he designed earlier for DJs, please look for that in the Talking Drum store.
Please.
So look for that. Good Candy White. Hi, Scribbler. Okay, I can't hear you.
I haven't talked yet.
Wait, hold on.
I have to talk first.
Okay. That could be it too. Hi. Let me see. Can you guys hear Scribbler? I'm not sure if I have the stream together working, but welcome in, Scribbler.
Hi.
Okay, I think people can hear it. So I'm running. So this is a little weird. I'm actually running music, which I never run music, right? So
I can hear it. Yeah.
And it's a little loud.
If it's loud for you, then I'm sorry.
Let me turn it down a little bit so I can kind of hear myself, because I have auditory processing disorder, and we're just talking about this I think somewhere else, but yeah, I have auditory processing disorder, so any kind of extra noise is like hard to deal with. But welcome in. If you don't know Scribbler, she is a very famous writer for DC Comics and for
every time, man. Every time.
No, you are.
I'm not.
Okay.
Yes, I wrote for DC Comics. It doesn't make me famous.
You are famous. Like, you have more Twitter followers than like a lot of people I know. Okay, so
and I haven't used Twitter in
Scribbler is also, she also writes for other TV shows and movies. You do movies too, yeah? Shucks.
We've written some. We have not been hired officially to write a movie, like ever.
And then
someday, maybe. Fingers crossed.
Well, very good.
Yeah,
we are crossing our fingers and our toes for you. But I did see something where you actually have another DC property other than the comics, another genre of entertainment that you wrote for. Is that correct? Just recently in 2024.
In 2024. Yes. Although I don't know how much I'm supposed to actually discuss.
That's what I was wondering about. If we can't discuss it, don't. But I saw some of it, so don't feel like you gotta disclose anything. So.
No, at some point I will actually feel comfortable talking about the thing that Julie and I most recently worked for on for DC. and Warner Brothers. So it was definitely not in the comics side of things. It was definitely more on our other business side, our other writing stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been weird because like they sent us the crew gift, and I was like, does this mean we can actually talk about having written on this show?
Oh,
And it's still not on IMDb, and they still haven't officially announced a release date
okay.
for it. So I can't.
Yeah,
I'm like
I don't
living
want
in
to
the
get you in
land
trouble.
of
I
maybe.
apologize. I should have talked to you about it before.
No, it's totally fine. But yes, we have written DC in a couple of different avenues, and this honestly, and I will say that it's a funny coincidence, because when I saw the game, when I saw DC Dark Legion listed as a promotion, like a what do we call it? It was an ad
Yeah,
thing that you could do on your stream, right? Anyway, a promotion type situation, which words fail. It's a
it's
weekend.
okay. It's okay.
When I saw that, I was like, huh. Did I know a DC game was coming out? That's so interesting. I kind of remember this thing, and it turned out that it was a project that we had heard about, like a while ago, like a long while ago. And it
Oh,
was something we had even like talked to some people about. And so when I got into the game and I started looking at it, I was like, oh yeah, this is the stuff that we had some like NDA material for
oh, really?
way back, because we were hoping to maybe get a short gig working to write narrative on the game. And I only disclose that because I just think it's really funny. I have no animosity for not having gotten that job, nor do I have any like things happen in the world, but I really enjoyed the game.
Right,
And so it was funny that after I decided, oh, here's a game finally I feel like I could play and I'd be interested in continuing with on my stream.
right.
And then I was like, "Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember this game now."
You remember?
But only from the totally, you know, the build side of it, from the, from the dev side.
Mm,
So it was really funny. Um, anyway, suffice to say, I think the narrative content in this game is actually really great.
right.
It makes me very happy. I think the characters are incredibly well written. There are only a couple of like nitpicks that I have, and one of them I have just because, the Birds of Prey are near and dear to my heart because we wrote Batgirl and the Birds of Prey.
Yes.
Is that I really dislike the Batgirl taking a selfie with her phone. Like it's
Really?
in the
You've
in
mentioned
the
that before.
animations, in the battle animation, and it annoys me to no end. Which is why I typically don't watch the battle animations anymore unless I have to, because there are some battles that if you do try to manually control it, it will trigger their battle
Oh, that's
animation
right.
and their ultimate animation, and so you don't have to watch. It is her in the Batgirl of Burnside run, which was the previous Batgirl run to the Rebirth, which we didn't write the main title. That was Hope Larson. But Hope Larson picked it up from that point, and she continued the Batgirl of Burnside run, which de-aged Barbara quite
Mm,
a bit, like back to like post college, early, like mid 20s, I'd say. Like it really kind of pulled her back a little bit from where she had been creeping up in age in after Gail Simone's run and a few other runs that had happened. And then the Burnside run, which had Babs Tarr as the one of the was like the great artist on that run, and I love Babs's artwork of
yeah.
her. Like she's fantastic in that.
Hey,
But
since you're so famous, there's people like dying to ask you questions. By the way, in chat, so
okay,
you
okay,
won't
well,
you won't see this because we're simulcasting on YouTube as well. But
oh, I don't
BY
have the YouTube up. I just
Destroyer
have Twitch.
is asking, how would you feel if the DC Absolute Universe characters made their way into DC Dark Legion?
Sure. I mean, honestly, what I love about this is here's one of the main reasons that I love the construction of DC Dark Legion. Are you ready?
Yes, yes.
Okay. DC Dark Legion has the capacity to bring in different versal forces. So while Metal, which is a comic series that this is very primarily based on, and the idea of the the different Batmen of different universes, right? And that they are your big bads, that they are your alpha predators in a way, with the apex predator being the Batman Who Laughs.
Right.
Um, it still allows a lot of room to bring in other universe type characters. Yeah, so it's the Batman Who Laughs, for those who are not familiar with that character, is an alt U version of a Batman where he and the Joker are kind of merged as a personality and as a character. And he is terrifying. Like his art is terrifying. I think Greg Capullo was the artist because I think it was Scott Snyder's run, and I will feel terrible if I've gotten that
Mm.
wrong. I'll have to look it up, but that's my memory anyway. But the art is incredible, and he really stood out. Like he was a breakout from that book, and he has made his way into other properties in DC, besides that run of Metal and then Death Metal, which came after that. I think a year or two after that. I could be again wrong about the timeline, but yeah, like Metal feels like it was around 2000, may have been, I'm sorry, not 2000, sorry, around 2019 or
Yeah.
2020, and I could be wrong about that timing, but it feels like it was I know I have a poster that I got at Comic-Con for it, and maybe I've got the year wrong. Was it 2018, 2019? It kind of
You're in the
happened
ballpark
after
for
most
sure.
of,
Yeah.
I knew it was after when Rebirth was kind of like coming down from everything had been branded Rebirth, and we
Yeah.
were writers on a Rebirth title, so that was a big deal. And after about 2 years, most of the titles had kind of been ramped down from the Rebirth title, to kind of quote unquote regular run. Nothing is really a regular run. Things get stopped and restarted all the time in comics. That is not the only thing that really doesn't is Detective. Detective Comics still retains its numbering from the original number one of Detective
Oh,
Comics.
back in the
And
30s.
Yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
Detective
That's true.
Comics
Yeah.
and I think it's one of those things where it didn't, and then they restored it. And I have to check my math on that too. But I think, in the current time, yes, it's like up to issue number, I don't know what, 1,000 or 900 or something. It's a very high number. And that's a like twice monthly book, I believe, still like Batman.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
So yeah, I mean, like there are titles. Batman is on like a third printing for this new iteration that has kind of started launching. I was like really impressed that like the run is doing really well. There are a few titles that do incredibly well. And I mean, I really applaud DC for like they gave us a shot where we had never written in comics before. We were TV writers and we were women. There aren't a lot of women who write
Mm.
comics. And of course, that's always one of our big arguments to people about why you should hire more women in comics. It's like because there aren't enough, clearly. And there are plenty of women writers you can choose from, let me tell you. People that can write action and, fun, big, world building stories. So, we were very fortunate to become friendly with Jeff Johns, and Jeff Johns gave us an opportunity, and
Oh,
we
nice.
ran with it. Like, so we, and then from the Batgirl and the Birds of Prey, we had a short run on Green Arrow because they were considering. We didn't know for sure whether they would or not, but they were considering rebooting that again or stopping the title and like holding it a bit and then starting it again. But we didn't know what the timeline for that would be. So we were lucky enough to get to do 6 issues and an annual for Green Arrow. So that was also great because we made the argument too that like at the time, and we said this at a lunch to like the heads, like a couple of the guys who run DC. We were like, you have no women writing male superhero titles. They're like,
See,
what?
I
We're like, yeah,
this is
you
one of
have
the
you have no
nicest things
women
that you
writing
guys
male
did
superheroes.
was you signed your comic.
I
So
did. We signed the book.
yeah, thank you. You and Julie.
Yeah. So yeah, of course.
Thank you.
But they of course were, like, oh, well, we don't, obviously their idea was like, well, we don't really pay attention to that. And it's like, well, okay. But, I mean, Gail has written Plastic Man. She's written Animal Man. Like she's written so many different male superheroes. I think she's written, I want to speak out of term, but I think she's written some Superman, maybe not in the main title and not in action, but I know she's probably written some. But and Marvel, she's written a lot of Marvel too. So it's not like, Louise Simonson has written male. It's not like it's unusual. In fact, Kelly McDonald was writing. I don't know if she's still on it, but she's still on Aquaman. But she went on Aquaman like a year or two after our DC run kind of ended, and that was a really different experience because we were on like a treadmill. Like, we're doing TV and we have hiatus for TV where, we're waiting between seasons and maybe trying to get the next job on a new show or on the same show. We're waiting to see if it comes back. And we're still running comics like every
Mhm.
single month. And you have them in different stages of, you know, start and completion. And it's just like, it's like I said, a treadmill. So like for 2 years, we were running on this treadmill and not missing a single deadline
Wow.
because we did not want. Well, what happens is if you miss a deadline, like really badly, like you're not going to make it in time to have it go through the entire editorial process and art and everything. You're going to end up with somebody's what they call a oh gosh, the name just flew out of my head. They'll it's almost like a bottle episode of a comic. They have some that are kind of are like sitting there and ready to be used at a moment's notice. They've been written and drawn, and
Oh,
they
they're
can plug them.
like teacher sub plans in case there's a.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So and you'll see that happen sometimes. Like it'll have told you a different type, like a different thing is coming out in previews when there was previews, and then you get to that month and there's suddenly it's a completely different thing
Mm.
that shows up, and it's because the preview stuff gets their information 2 months in advance, right? But if you don't have a comic to print, you use the one that's already been done. And so we never wanted that to happen. We didn't want our run interrupted with one of these books. And by the way, we wrote a couple of those books. So it's not like we didn't write something for them on that same premise, that and unfortunately ours have never been used. And I think they're still in the archive somewhere. But anyway, we just never wanted to have an interruption.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
was a point of pride for us, to not miss deadlines. So
Yeah.
we
That
did
doesn't sound like
25
something you guys would want to do at all. So you're not that.
25 straight issues of Batgirl and Birds of Prey, and then
Wow.
a really like almost non-existent break between going from the Birds to Green Arrow, which we'd already put Green Arrow in our book a few times, so we knew exactly how Ollie was. Like and we love Green Lantern, Green Arrow. I have a poster of it on my wall behind me, signed by Neil Adams.
Hmm. That's cool.
And Neil Adams was on a panel once called us the Tiger Twins because we
The Tiger Twins.
the Tiger
Yeah.
Twins.
Why?
Because I guess we were just a little too uppity on that panel
Oh.
for him. I don't know. It's really funny. I forgot what we were talking about. We are talking about something about superheroes, and and Mark Wade was moderating that Comic-Con panel. We're on this panel with Neil Adams, which we're like, oh my gosh, what are we doing on a panel with Neil Adams? It's like the time we were on a panel with Christopher Priest, and we're like, what are we doing here? We don't belong here. What is this? And it's just these incredible comics writers and artists that we've like shared space with. And in the course of this conversation, I don't know, like we kind of got into it with him about something, and he was like, like in referencing us at the end of the dais, he was like, the Tiger Twins over here, and we're like, what? And our parents are in the audience, and I think they were video recording that panel. I'm gonna have to see if I can find the video
Oh,
somewhere.
that'd be
'Cause it's
cool to
absolutely
show.
hysterical. Yeah, I might dig that one out if I can find it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm
Anubis
still way
says
off
that was
topic.
an amazing arc.
Thank you, Anubis. I really appreciate
Lawson
that.
says Batman's. Yeah, there's going to be a whole bunch of different
There's a lot of Batmans. Anyway, back to the game.
Yeah.
Back to the game.
No. This is
way off.
Let's not worry about the game. This is all fascinating. Another question from Rex is Marvel versus DC. Wants to know
I
your
love this
opinion.
question. They're both. Why not both? I mean, that's always my answer. And
That's
actually,
what I
why not
figured it
all
would
of
be.
them?
Yeah.
Because Dark Horse has amazing titles. Boom has amazing titles. Like IDW has amazing. Like, why would you exclude any of the Dynamite even? Like, I mean, any of the comics publishers that have titles. I mean, there's a valid place in the marketplace for that. And Marvel and DC have very different. Like, they really do come from like the opposites. They're like opposite world of each other. So like where DC and this is not some new revelation. This is something that comics writers talk about a lot. DC characters tend to be super powered, metahumans, etc., aliens, and then whereas Marvel tends to be normal people who are thrown into the super powered world.
Mm.
Where so like for example, in most cases in Marvel, you kind of know their real names, and in DC, you really know their 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 Superman super persona, all persona outward more than you know the person inside. Like Marvel really does dig deep into the sort of, if you're doing like psychoanalysis of these universes, like DC sort of has like the big front, like they put on like they're larger than life figures. Batman and Superman in particular are just like so superhuman in that way. And the origin story, of course, for someone like Captain America is that he was just a normal guy who
Mm.
then got some serum plugged into him, and he stayed a normal guy with some serum plugged into him. And so it's sort of there's something that's there core that is tapped into that. The comic characters in general have that, right? Like there is some part of their psyche that is outwardly projected through their either their superpower or through their superhero identity. So where the Dark Knight or Batman has a very tragic backstory. It's his pain and his need to avenge the death of his parents in no small part, that drives him to his vigilante activities. And so, all of the things that he, surrounds himself with in his environment are very reflective of that. So, anyway,
Yep.
it's
Let's see.
it's
Ranson said, and Ranson's here, our leader, our faithful leader. God's living among us. Marvel, regular folks elevating themselves to show the best of humanity. So yeah,
yes.
DC
Thank you
is
for having
definitely
said that more
the case.
succinctly.
Yeah.
That is definitely a better, capsule summary of the
Yeah.
difference. between those two
Lawson
titles.
is asking, what do you think of the new Superman? That the new was more human. So if you haven't seen, a little bit of a spoiler, but
Yeah. So two oddly terrible things I'll reveal.
oh no.
I have not seen the new Superman movie
Oh, okay.
yet, and I also haven't read any comics probably in about a year. I've seen some titles. I actually bought some titles fairly recently, and they're just I haven't had a chance to like sit down and read them. But I bought like we're friends with Tom King, and so I very often will pick up something of his. Like we loved his Vision book from Marvel, and he's just amazing at like anything he picks up. New Gods, like any of the stuff that he picks up. Mr. Miracle. I mean, he and Mitch Gerrits are just an incredible team together, and we his work on Nightwing with Tim Seeley was fantastic, and then they gave him Batman, and you're like, whoa, you're dealing with the big dog now. But he was always so very humble about it and stuff, and just also just a brilliant guy.
Ranson was nice to say I'm streaming in our alliance chat or league chat. Thank you.
So, but anyway, all to say that yes, I'm okay with it because I think it's good to explore the many dimensions of these characters. And there is, while Superman in a big way is a god that walks among us, he is still Clark Kent. And the thing I love about, in particular, Christopher Reeve as Superman and why he's my Superman. And I love everybody else. There's no knock against anybody who's ever played Superman. But Chris Reeve is my Superman because I was a kid at the time that he was in those movies, right? So I grow up with Chris Reeve. He's my Superman. Yeah. Also, I love that he was able to, really in a very physical way, you could see the difference between Superman and Clark Kent. Like he really did an amazing job of kind of making himself shorter. If that's
he slouched
possible.
A little bit more, right?
And he would stand up a little more straight and a little more just perfect. There was a perfection to Superman that you would see when he was Superman, and then just a little off of it. Especially when he wanted to be bumbling and fumbling and yes, the glasses we know. But I mean, come on, let's just pretend for a minute that he has psychic paper on him like Doctor Who, right? So it's the same deal. Same deal. Psychic glasses. But there is that thing, but I always felt like it didn't matter. Like you really could feel like you could look at him and not see Superman when you're looking at Clark Kent and the other way around, for sure. Because who's looking at Clark Kent? Nobody. Nobody's looking close enough at Clark Kent to then see Superman. They might look at Superman, but they would never see Clark Kent because, you know, the idea is so improbable in anybody's mind that it doesn't compute. So that's really the armor. That's the disguise. So I like anything. Yeah, when he took off his glasses to reveal himself to Lois, it was a massive change. And in the first movie, when she goes into another room, like he's come to pick her up for the date as Clark, and she's just finished her date with Superman,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So he's literally like within seconds, just right around the corner, in through her front door.
I'm sorry, we're in
And
ads, so if you're missing the story.
and when he stands there, and yes, he takes off his glasses, and he straightens up just ever so slightly, and you see his face. Like I swear he like locks his jaw in place in a way that I didn't even know you could do that as a human. Like he clearly worked so very hard on that physicality and then was able to sort of do that in a really consistent way in that movie that it's still amazing to me. Every single time. That scene always gives me just a tiny little chill because like he's just right on the edge of telling her the truth, and then he puts the glasses back on and he's
Right.
back as Clark, and you go on.
Is the first Superman movie your favorite, or do you have another favorite within the Christopher Reeve?
I like Superman too.
Okay.
For a lot of reasons. I just recently bought the Richard Donner cut, and of course now they've got the 4K one that just came out, and I kind of wish I had waited, but I had been wanting that Donner cut for a long time. And the first movie though is still the one that I probably revisit more because there is that kind of idealism supplanted in that movie that the 80s were still in early 80 and 79 when Superman came out, like there was definitely the leftover cynicism from the 70s, I think. The recession that had happened and a lot of things, and we'd not like come up into the sort of yuppie idealism of the 80s.
Right.
But
Right.
Superman was certainly I think a harbinger of that because it brought superheroes back into this sort of super heroic light. And I think that's something that they were trying to do post, Zack Snyder is, reframe again. It's like, okay, we've spent a lot of time in the darkness with, some of these superheroes, and that's never a bad thing, I don't think. But I think, yes, going back to what are some of the roots and cores of these characters? The hopeful, optimistic, more,
No,
looking
that
at the
makes a lot
bright
of
side of
sense.
humanity.
Yeah,
The
because
the brighter side of humanity.
you're coming off of Vietnam War and Nixon administration, then you're going into Jimmy
Mhm.
Carter's administration with was it? It was a
Yeah,
recession.
with Gerald Ford in there somewhere.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it was a recession.
So yeah, that makes sense. That until you got to Reagan and you had a robust economy again, there was a lot of angst with
Yeah.
just society and everything else going. And you have a superhero, you have Superman coming aboard, and that gives hope to people. So that makes a lot of sense that it was the right movie at the right time.
Well, and I think too, I mean, if you look at any of the old like serials from the 1940s or whatever, like especially the Superman serials, I'm sorry, Reeves does not look like he's flying. Like, I mean, they do as good a job as they can. But the Ranson saying you'll believe a man can fly, yeah, in a big way. Like whatever Christopher Reeve did to make that sell that, he had to sell that effect. They could kind of do the green screening and stuff, and they could make that look pretty good, put him on strings, whatever it took, a harness, etc. But he had to sell it. He had
Mhm.
to like make you believe it. And he did. And I think that, especially when you're talking about that time period where Star Wars has come out and it is kind of a fairy tale, space sci-fi space fairy tale, but in a very traditional way. That there is the good guys and the bad guys. The shades of gray were kind of, just, pushed off to the side. And let's deal with good and bad. It's still do good and evil. And it gave you the ability to kind of, yeah, like not have to sit in the realm of nuance and navel gazing, for better or for worse. But I think honestly, at that point, that was what everybody needed. Everybody needed to have that kind of ray of sunshine brought into their life, and that's why I think that movie, and I think that his portrayal of that character endures, because anytime you're in a bad mood, I suggest putting on Superman. Rocky is also a
Yeah,
great one for
that
that
makes
too,
sense.
but Superman in particular, I think, will put you in a good mood. And I don't know, like, there's just something about watching, Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor. I mean, maybe he wasn't the best Lex. I don't know. I'm not gonna judge, but I love him. He's so over the top evil in a way that you just kind of like, you know, I'm sorry. It's just like I laugh about it because I am also thinking about Ned Beatty
Oh,
and
yeah.
Ottoville or whatever. And I mean, it's like the very like ridiculousness. Miss Tessmacher! Like him screaming for Miss Tessmacher! Uh, like, I don't know. Just everything about Gene Hackman was literally a good
Hi, Welsh Warlock.
man.
Uh,
Hi, Welsh
Welsh
Warlock.
says,
You're very
hearing
kind.
Scribbler brightens my day. And I think that is
Very
very true for
kind.
everybody.
Thank you. I mean, sure. I mean, Willy Wonka predates his movies by a bit, but the same kind of thing applies, right? Where it's sort of like there, you know, um, there's a lightness to it. Like that had some dark undertones though, Willy Wonka. Like really dark. I would actually put it a little more in the vein of what some of the 70s movies were doing. It was very, I think, against the grain, and for especially for kid, a movie that was targeted at families and children.
Mm.
Like, but Roald Dahl's story is very dark and has some real shades to it. Is Willy Wonka truly good character, or was he this very kind of troubled figure, that then, unless you're talking about like the new Willy Wonka, which I also haven't seen because I just haven't been able to kind of get enthusiasm for seeing Timothy Chalamet as a sort of proto Gene Wilder, and I just don't know
Mm.
if I can do
Yeah.
it. I'm like on the fence about it. I have no issue with watching. I always forget the actor's name. The new actor who portrays Superman. Like I have no issues with new portrayals of Superman. Like whatever. He's a comic book character. Like he changes, but he looks different all the time, right? Like I mean, he has the same basic physique. He has the same basic look, but there's always a different artist drawing him, and so you're going to have different interpretations of that character that you like more so than others.
Oh, that's an
And,
interesting
and same
take
with
on
the
it.
writing.
I didn't think about
Yeah,
that.
I think it's easier with comic characters because of that very reason. Because you're used to seeing comic characters be kind of rebooted all of the time in comics. In films, it's kind of no big deal. I mean, we do kind of eye roll about it now because there's just been so much rebooting of everything. And of course, Marvel has tapped out their first run of all of their MCU, and now they're thinking about rerunning that. And you go, oh, please don't do that. Please don't. Like, it's too soon. Like the fact they're even doing Harry Potter again already, and I know it's been 20 plus years, but in my brain, it's like, no, that was just like yesterday. What are you talking about? I can't revisit that. There's something different about that. I don't know why, but I think it's because visually, like comics is a visual medium,
Hmm.
and I'm not an artist. I'm a terrible. I don't draw. I don't draw at all. And that was one of the things that was always a joke when we would do signings. Of course, people would bring us. They'd come with their little sketchbooks to have the artist sketch something maybe when they autograph and stuff like that. And it was like, oh no, we don't draw. Sorry, we just write. And that's a very confusing notion for some some people who are maybe not as versed in the difference between art and writing. Like there are artist writers like Jason Aaron and others like that draw the books and write the books, and more power to them. I wish I could do that. That is not me. I just write. But I think that because you see the character differently in different eras and in different runs, it's easier to accept a different actor. I think when it's a book adaptation,
Oh, okay.
the first kind of person you see as that character really imprints on you. Like I think that it does it with comics too, but I think it really imprints when you do it with novel or book characters. So like for me, uh my Darcy from Pride and Prejudice is going to be Colin Firth, but Julie loves Matt McFadden. Like she prefers him.
Oh,
And
really?
I totally see it. I've watched the Keira Knightley movie, and I totally get it. I see why he's totally a great Darcy, but mine is Colin Firth because that's the one I saw first.
Yeah.
That one imprinted on me more so. Same thing with Willy Wonka. Like Gene Wilder is my Willy Wonka because that's what you see first, and that's what imprints. And I think it can work in different times. Like if you see a newer movie first, then go back and watch an older movie, even though most people might associate that character with the older actor, you might not. And that's why it is okay to, I think, have generational versions of some of these characters. It's just difficult because, for some of us, we just really, emotionally attach to a portrayal, and it can be difficult to kind of share that space in your brain and in your emotional depth with another one. Branson, that's a perfect example. Yeah, Jack Reacher. Tom Cruise never imprinted because he was so different than the book, but Oliver Richardson imprinted. Yeah, exactly. Totally, I get that. And I think that there have been times where they have deviated from like maybe the description of the character in the book, and it's worked out okay. Like that's not a bad thing. Alan Richardson. That's not a bad thing necessarily, but it does make it a little cognitive dissonance when you go back and you read the description of the character in the book, and you're like, wait a minute, that's not so and so. Like it really can mess with you. Harry Potter, it's almost like they basically just took whoever J.K. Rowling was staring at on a wall, imagining them as the character, and then they said, "Yep, we'll take that one." Right? All right, next one, and then they just go and cast the next person who was on her wall. She already had the headshots there, so
Okay,
I
Scribbler,
just, I mean,
you're in charge. I gotta feed the dog real quick. I'll be right
okay.
back.
Let me talk about the game. Let's get to the game again. So I like the game. I like the narrative content of this game. I also really like the gameplay. I like that there is a lot of flexibility, things that really appeal to me in this game. There are multiple currencies, but most of the time you can, redeem things, for or change them into other things. Maybe the ROI isn't always the best, but it's not bad. When events end, if you have leftover currency, they go into source gems or into ACDC shards. And those are like two major currencies in this game. The ACDC shards feed their force abilities, their sort of specific abilities, and the source gems are used in all kinds of places in this game as the currency of choice. I think it's a reasonable economy. Let's put it that way. I think it is a reasonable economy for sure.
Yeah, it's
Craig
been
Frank will
getting a
always
little
be
bit
here for
better every single month or so. Like
Yeah,
they
I think that they
increase.
continue to improve it, and they clearly listen to their player feedback, which I mean is you think, well, yeah, they should. Well, no, not every game company can, move the Titanic. And here I think they are a little more nimble, and they are able to make changes on the fly. Like there clearly have been some things that, were not intended, and they go in and they fix that character. Like for some reason when we first started, like in the first month or so, if you had Lex Luthor on your team and you were using him as an automatic trigger for the ultimate that he has, it would misfire. It would like it was just a weird thing where he wasn't really working right. And then they fixed it.
Right.
And yeah, every mobile game is going to have pay to win elements or ads. And this game has no ads. And by the way, there are things that are great on, now that they've sort of introduced us to their version of the web store, the pay site. They do have like they have some discounts and deals there as well. I mean, I still primarily would, if I buy anything, I tend to buy it through Google Play, but that's not to say that it might not be a good advantage to utilize their web store. They do give you some freebies and things. Just for even checking in on the site every day. You don't even have to do anything. All you have to do is check into the site and you get something, whether it's, mother boxes or whatever.
Hmm.
And yes, some of this terminology I'm tossing around, Dr. Iron Chef will be happy to lay it all out for you at some point. But
Yeah, I know
yeah,
when you came in. I'm not sure if you heard. We're trying to test out the stream of how it works and what to cover and everything else. So having you here, first of all, is super fantastic. That's the first thing, because you have a lot of understanding about DC and the lore and everything else. But we will get into some of the more mechanics of it. So we'll
yeah.
treat this as a test stream to make sure that all the overlays work and everything else. But
One
to
of the reasons I'm glad you're a content creator for this game is because I think where a lot of the other content creators maybe focus a lot on the mechanics of the game mechanics, which are, by the way, obviously that's critical and important, and I think you will do that. But you are also a community builder. And I think that is your special sauce as a content creator, is that you really enjoy the community around a game. And I think that's something that this game has a little bit of, in the same vein of like STFC. Um,
Mhm, yeah, yeah.
but is it as deep? Maybe not, but I think it could be. It certainly could be. When you have alliances and you have people and you're reliant to some degree on your people kind of being there for events, especially if they're scheduled during a specific time and day and stuff like that. Well, it can be, you can have some relationships form, Discords, they built in the mechanism for linking directly to the Discord for your alliance in the game, stuff like that, which makes a lot of sense, because you want to have your players being able to talk to each other, not just in game, but also outside of it, and sharing, longer form content and tips and tricks and spreadsheets and the like. So I think that will be, I think that will be important, like going forward, as if I were to sort of what I think
No, I
what you
appreciate it.
can bring to the program. So, and I don't have a deep knowledge of all of the content creators for DC Dark Legion. I have sampled some of their content, and I think there's some absolutely fantastic content out
Right,
there.
right.
Like, some of those creators are really great at what they do, which is breaking down new mechanics or breaking down the functionality of a character or whatever. Um, but yeah, I think alongside that, it's really great to have content creators who bring in that feeling of community around a game. So,
That's true. That is true. And you know, the ones that I've talked to, they've been super nice, and that's one of the things you want in your content creators, is that they're kind, they're very open, they're cooperative, and that
yeah.
is kind of the thing that I really like about just getting to meet them and everything else, and including the CMs. The CMs have been super nice. I know they've been working extra hard. There were some minor hiccups last couple days, but you're right. They do communicate a lot. They gave out like 3 different updates, not about anything other than we've received your feedback. We're looking at this from the last newsletter. I'm looking at the Discord right now, and they talk about how they shortened the Gotham battles from 3 hours
3 hours now down to an hour
to
and a
yeah,
half,
hour
which
and a
is
half. You know,
way
it went
better.
from 3 to 2 to 90 minutes,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
or like
Three
here's
hours was an
it was a
eternity for
long
that
time
battle.
to do
Oh my
just
gosh.
to be active on that. But even like
Yeah.
the Green Lantern VIP levels, the
Yeah.
Great Kryptonian Rush, they're making adjustments, and I understand not everyone is going to agree with everything, but I think they're trying their best, which is super cool. And they have a roadmap they're looking at. They say which
Hmm.
things they accomplished, which things they haven't accomplished. So you're right. They do seem to respond. They might respond too quickly to certain things without letting it play out,
Then
which could be a thing where it's something that could be down the road, something that is a obstacle. But I think they really have been trying to do their
Yeah.
best to help out. So you're right.
Well, I think, yeah, you and I both know that players are always going to be the best beta testers
Right.
because they just will come up with some crazy thing that will break something.
Well,
Like
I say there's
absolutely would let them fail.
more of us than them, and so it's hard
Yeah,
to think of everything that's possible. So why not utilize the player base to help you out?
yeah. So there's two things I want to address from the chat. First of all, I don't know if it's still there, but the game was on Grab Tap through Stream Elements when I did that campaign. Campaign was the word I was trying to think of. And so it may still be there, and if there is, then that might I don't you're not hooked up on GrabTap though. We had this
No, but
conversation. We needed to get you on.
can you still get credit off of that, or is it?
Yeah, there's a link on my Discord actually. Let me go grab
Yeah,
it.
grab it and drop into the
And
chat. So
yeah, and I'm not sure if you'll get anything for it, but it doesn't hurt to try, I guess. I don't know. You can look at it at least. The other thing I'll mention is that yes, when I started, I did my first stream, and I had like no, I think it was just Doug like signed on, and we were on 359,
mhm,
and then I did it again, and when I did the second stream, everybody was creating accounts was on 361, and so they couldn't see my alliance that I had formed for the speakeasy. And I was like, "Oh man." So I went and
that's
I
right.
found how to create the second account, which you don't do it as an account. You actually do it as a character. So when you go into when you click on the avatar up in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, and you click on that, and you see like your user ID is at the bottom and some other stuff, your player ID. One of the things you'll see there is and it'll say you'll have an option between changing account and character, and you want
That's
to
right.
choose character, and character will allow you to create basically another instance on another server, and you can choose what server as long as it's open. So if you create an account today and you end up on 363 or who knows what server they're putting people on now, you can then like just leave that one if you wanted and create a new one on 361. Ignore the old one, just leave it there or delete it if you want once you've created one on 361, and keep your new one. Ta-da! 428 is the newest, yeah. So there you go. But yes, you can have multiple. And then, by the way, both of mine are named Scribbler, which is really funny when I fight myself.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
Because
so
you've
funny.
had to challenge yourself
I've
in
done
different
screenshots. I've
battles.
done screenshots of Meta Brawl where my eye pop up and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to see which team's working better today. And it's fun. Like I actually kind of enjoy having the the other account is entirely free to play, so it's not as beefy, but it was the first one, and so any of the free like any of the things I did on the promo where I got some, like I think I got like a creator code or something where I got some stuff to play with in there, or I got some money. I don't remember how it worked out, but whatever it was, that's on the other account. And so I ended up with like a slightly stronger Superman on that account than I
Oh,
had on the one I use. He's about the only one. Everybody else is about the same. But like I did get Diana, I did get Wonder Woman to Mythic on that other account as
nice.
well. It's also like 2 weeks ahead in the calendar, or no, week ahead. It's a week
Which
ahead in
is
the
an
calendar.
advantage for your second account then.
It is because I already know, like I knew Starfire was coming because we'd gotten her, and I mean you can look it up. Like there are content creators who have the calendars and you can track that stuff. But like, I see, oh, Sinestro is coming next week, on Tuesday. He's replacing Deathstroke on our
Hmm.
calendar.
Yep.
So keep in mind, if you don't know already, if you were waiting it out for Sinestro to come back, save your anvils and wait till Tuesday, which they conveniently made Tuesday, for us in the States anyway, it's Tuesday. They've conveniently made that the day that you
Get the new
spend on the
characters. Yeah.
champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they changed around Supreme Commander, which I hated at first. I hated it, but now I understand it. I get it, and that's the thing of understanding what they're making changes to in the game as you go. One thing I encountered today, I'll tell you, Chef, because I did put it up in our chat at the time in the game, but when we were doing Gotham,
Hmm.
it was very laggy today.
Oh,
Um, and I was having an issue, and I thought I'll restart the game because I kind of like been doing some stuff in the game before, and I thought, well, maybe I just need a clean restart of the game. But I had triggered the the attribute boost
yeah.
uh
Yeah.
right before, like maybe a minute or so
Hmm.
before I restarted the game. And when I got back into Gotham, my boost was gone.
Is it a
And I don't know
client?
if
Is it a client side boost as opposed to a server side?
I don't know. And that's why I don't know if it's working as intended
Oh,
or if that's a bug because I just noticed that, oh, the boost I had put on that's supposed to last 10 full minutes. I mean, it didn't take me 10 minutes to restart the
to
game on my
re-get into the
phone.
game. That might be something
Yeah. So,
to bring up.
oh, you did? You reported it? Okay, cool. Thanks, Ransom.
Yeah.
But that was the first time I obviously had done something like that, not in the middle. I wouldn't have thought to restart the game in, the
Right.
middle of Gotham, but I did, and I wouldn't have thought there would be any. I would have thought most of that stuff was server side. Like it was surprising
I
to
would
me
think
because
so.
I would have
Un-
thought like arenas, it would
unless
be like that.
unless it was a click on your side, it activated the graphics, but it didn't get sent to the server. So that's
I
why
mean,
I'm
it was like a good full minute
okay.
that
Well,
had gone
then
by, I think.
that doesn't
So
make
it
any
should have
sense.
been there, and that's why I was like, I'll have to see if anyone else has seen this because I don't know if it's like again, is it a bug or is it something that, it is like while you're active in the game and so the second that I went inactive, it dropped it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. But I still had ships that were like when I went back in, I still had ships that were, at their targets and were either, collecting material, right? Or, building up that currency to trigger another one or we're doing garrison at another location, so that never like changed. It didn't like reset all to go home, so I don't know.
Ranson says beta, base beta server would be great for testing bugs before general release, a player one. So
Yeah,
you could have
I
a player
wonder. Yeah.
advisory council for this whole thing.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think honestly, I think it is a matter of let's see how the game does. Let's see where it goes. If this thing does take off in a way and it becomes really, really popular and it has legs like, 7-year legs like STFC does, yeah, I could see, probably that it evolves into having some more interfaces with its user base, to the
Mm.
players. I mean, I think the jury's out because anytime you introduce a new game, you just never know how people are going to respond to it. I personally love the mechanics of this game and I'm enjoying the heck out of it.
Yeah.
I like you. I did hear you earlier. I was finishing up some stuff, so I couldn't be on. But I also like that I can put it down for a while and
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about it. Like there's a lot of stuff that, and that's why I think the stamina mechanic was not well received because the for having to load in your champions in their bonuses or their buffs for specific facilities that they originally were like designed. I don't think it was intended, but it was like 8 hours, and it was like, oh no, if I have to reset these every 8 hours,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's not reasonable. Like that's just not acceptable in a way. Because I mean, a lot of those things are offline generators, right? You're going to collect them when you log in, and hopefully you'll be able to get to it before it goes full, it hits max, and collect that stuff up. That's about the only other thing I would like a little bit better visibility to is, you know, I think how much you have of some of those things. Like I don't know. There's something about the inventory that's close, but it's not quite as um, comprehensive in a weird way. Like there's some stuff that you don't see in your main inventory that I'll have to look at it. But I mean, but these are like really small nitpicks. Like the game is enjoyable. That's always the bottom line. Do you have fun playing this game? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then any of the bugs, those will eventually they'll get sorted out, or but I'm enjoying the content of it, and I feel like so far, they've been incredibly responsive to when there is a big problem or something doesn't roll out correctly. They're pretty responsive to, okay, we're gonna fix this. Also, their maintenance windows are short.
That's true.
Like the amount of time it takes them to do implementation and then for you to be back in the game is pretty impressive.
And
So
is there
yeah,
client updates? It doesn't seem like they do client updates very often.
they do, but they do it through the main screen because you see they're downloading new content.
Right. But it's not like I have to re-download the app or anything, right?
No, I mean I don't know if I've done any app updates through the Google store. Everything has been through the game
It's through the
where
game,
it's
right? Okay.
downloaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's downloaded updates that way. Which, man, that's nice, to not have to. I mean, because my phone may or may not auto update apps at a
No,
particular
that's true.
time.
Yeah,
And I
everyone's
have to go
phone
check
works a
it.
little different, and mine is more manual than anything else.
Yeah, which I actually kind of prefer. I like being able to kind of pick and choose when I want something to update versus it pushing updates to me. Because especially if there's a problem with an update, not much you can do about that until they roll it back.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Marika said their math was way off on the thing, and so I think it was 10 hours. It was
yeah.
refreshing. I mean, it was running out of stamina every 2 hours. So they, instead of going back to 10 hours, actually, the nice thing is they went to 20 hours, right? So it's double the amount that it was supposed to be originally, and that might not have happened right away if there wasn't the initial bug. So
I'll be right back.
oh yeah, no problem at all. Ranson, yeah. So I am in first in comics. That's an interesting thing, right? Because you have more powerful characters than I do. So if you were to just base copy the same characters I have, you will definitely be in front. And I know that's within our own alliance or within our own league, but I can see if there are people in different leagues that were kind of copying everyone's kind of setup, that they might be a little bit more. There might be a little more angst against someone just copying someone else's lineup. Not that you do that, but I was just thinking that that might be something. You don't have Dark Metal Wonder Woman? Oh, okay. So that's the one advantage I might have. Then,
I think that's a huge advantage, by the way. I could not possibly get through 65 gotcha levels to.
I originally was not going to go after her. The first week, I didn't even really kind of do the polls or anything. But then when I noticed that the percentage wasn't changing on the meta brawls, or not the meta brawls, the what do you call it? I'm losing my mind right now. When we do our dailies or
on
combat cycles, that you were getting this 30% increase. I was like, well, that's actually one of my favorite things to do, because you get to tweak lineups and kind of strategize and figure out which one you can do. And I like that you don't have a limit, so you can constantly be trying to put on legacy pieces and trying to get the best combination with your heroes. So I really like this. And then when I saw those bonus points, it was like, well, if I don't have her, then that takes away one of the events that I really like. So I kind of had to get her as high as we can.
Yeah, I saw Maui post those numbers. I think it was Maui really early on in the event about her, and he was like, I think it was him. It might have been the Big Kahuna on my alt, but it was one of the Big Kahunas. I know that, and it sounded impressive. I was like, oh wow, that is a huge buff. I mean, and some of these characters give good buffs anyway, but to the rest of their team,
Right.
that's their role, is more support. But she's like combat and a buff. It's really she's really beefy. One thing, so I have to definitely be done in about 10 minutes, but I had a question for you, and then I had a comment. So the
Okay, yeah.
question is, do you do the uh, in, I wanted to call it incursions. Uh, the when you attack player ships in the world in the worldview, what do we call those? Infiltrations. Do you do the infiltrations?
Sometimes it depends.
I have a
And
tendency to forget about them. I like for a while, and then I remember.
yeah, I
I've not committed to doing them every day for sure.
we have a very good president in our group that sends out Discord messages. So I get pinged that it's on, so I kind of jump on if I can.
That
I don't
well,
get
that's for
this.
the trains. You don't do the individual ship infiltrations.
Which one are you talking about? The not the Russians,
So
right?
on the global map,
Oh wait,
where your
I'm sorry.
tasks are,
These
and
the
you can infiltrate a train. Yes, those.
I
So
do I
when you
do.
go into so you've done infiltrations where you go in and you pick a target. I see you do one. So I think you actually
Yeah,
answered my
yeah,
question
yeah.
'cause
So
you
the
did one.
recent one I got the anvil. I usually try to
You-
get the ones with the anvils, which
yeah,
is to pull the characters.
right.
But
You
if
have a
there's
max of
another
like
one,
3 a day, I
I
think.
might pass on it.
Yeah. Well, you have the excursions, the expeditions, but then yes, the fist. You have 3 of those a day that you can do,
Yeah,
and you can do it against trains. But I don't think that the trains count against your total. I don't think. I think the ones, or no, if you lose, they don't count. Um, but the infiltrations, when they're successful against players, they definitely count.
yeah. They count. I
I
think you
just
only
I
get
always
three.
forget.
Yeah, I think
I
you only
also
get
don't
three.
think I've never gotten anything really rewarding from doing those. I will say. I've done a train. I've done a train attack once, and that was not bad. But like, I think the rewards are kind of puny, and I kind of feel bad about taking other people's stuff. It's like OPC hunting. Like
I
I'm
do
not into
too.
it.
I do too. As I'm running one now on their ship.
No, I think you should because it's an element in the game. It's a mechanic in the game, but
Yeah,
it's not my deal. Like it's not my bag. And other player, I think there's plenty of PvP in this game. Meta brawl all by itself, and then the three versus three strategic whatever it is. I always forget the names of these things. We just had it this week. I think those are both really great uh like PvP mechanics.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's a great way to, I think, have that kind of engagement. Also because it's a daily task to do meta brawl.
Hmm.
Um, you're really you're making it advantageous for people to do PvP,
That's
and
true. That's
helping
true.
to complete their dailies. Um, I'm mixed on the mementos. How do you feel about mementos?
They're more of a vanity item than anything else, right? If you're a collector, then it's like try to collect them all, but there's no tangible benefit to your team,
I mean,
right?
yeah, there's some rewards for having collected them. Like once you've done a set, there's
That's true.
some
You get
there's a
some
chest,
loot, yeah.
but it's a really slow mechanic in terms of the collection process. I mean, you can get them gifted from other people, and I'm always happy when I can gift something that's a 3-star to somebody that's
True.
just desperately missing. And there are some that you can tell they just do not come up very much because there are so many people that are looking
That are
for it.
looking for it, yeah. I just
Now
sent
I tend
Julie
to
some stuff like the
Yeah,
last go around.
I tend to cycle mine. So like even if I don't get something in like, a day, I put something else on the list.
Okay.
And I just keep changing it because to me it's like you get a pip, you get an indicator when you can gift something to somebody. Thank you, Ranson. I appreciate that very, very much. I
Oh,
just had my list open back up today. So that's great because I
nice.
probably would have changed it tomorrow if no one had sent me anything today. That's awesome. So now I'll have to wait because there's a cooldown. So you can't get something sent to you every single day. It's like every 3 days, I think, or
Yeah.
2 days. Um, but I wish they did have like global buffs of some kind, for having
Right.
them or.
You know,
But
it's a nice
yeah,
community building thing too, right? Because if you have people on your friends
it
list
is.
that's outside of your league, then they send you one. It's like, oh, that's very nice that they sent.
Well,
Yeah.
I had to go through an evolution of thought, as I like to call it, on the gifting and receiving of the chests in these gotcha type events,
Okay.
right?
What
And
is your epiphany on this one?
so initially I hated it because
Oh,
it felt like a popularity contest, right? Like
right. Okay.
and I mostly had that experience from my other account because I wasn't really super engaged with my, my league over there. Like I am a little bit, but not very much. And I warned people too. Like I actually left my league that I was in, and I was just gonna go solo and just like leave myself off to myself because I wasn't gonna be using the account that much, except to maybe keep it kind of updated. Like if a new character came out that I really wanted, I'd use anvils for it or something. Like I joked, and it's kind of not a joke. I kind of got Hawk Girl on both accounts because I just really like her avatar,
Oh,
and I'm locked in on Batgirl. Like I'm not. I kind of don't want to change her. But on the other account, I change it all the time. So like other people are like, Hawk Girl's terrible. I'm like, you know what? I'll bet you they fix her at some point. Like they change her. And I'll probably be really grateful that nobody else really bothered to get her if I get her. So I went ahead and I got her on
yeah.
both of my accounts. Now, she's like maybe 2 blue, maybe 3 blue on my main account. I don't spend. So I mean, that's with some effort because I tried to skip Superboy, and then I ended up actually getting him 3 white. I'm not using him, but he's really powerful for 3 white. I was surprised. I was like, wow, actually, he's one of the stronger support characters I have, especially if you put him with the Superman family. Like, I like the training stuff in this game. The training mechanics are fantastic because you can train not only in the main training cycle, which, by the way, provides you some incredibly absurd matchups with like 5 Constantines,
Mm,
and stuff like that, where you've got to really, really figure out what you're going to do to take down 5 Constantines.
right.
And you get stuck at places for a little while until you have characters buffed up enough to then be able to really overpower or overtake those whatever the enemy is on the main training. But then within the training simulator, you've got these, at the bottom, the tab that leads you to
Other ones, yeah.
the other ones, which are fascinating because that's why I got into using Legion of Doom a lot. I use them a ton. I also I really do. The Arkham lineup is not terrible. There are some characters that you can max up, I think, or buff a lot better early on, that are a little more powerful early on, and then there's ones that you have to really work on and get them. But then once you've got them there, they're really good. And I like that too. I like that some are like immediately really good, like Red Hood. Although we're getting a Red Hood uh, evolution mechanic for
Yeah.
him, just like we had with Wonder Woman, which great because he's already a super powerful legendary, so they might as well. Um, characters I wish they would give a second look to and maybe tweak their abilities. That's like Arsenal. Like I think Arsenal could be a lot better. And unfortunately, like Arsenal, I think Shazam too. I've seen a couple of people using Shazam on Meta Brawl, and I was impressed because they had him up in pink, I think, and I was like, oh, that's a totally different experience with that Shazam
Yeah.
than what I have with mine. I feel like mine is just like he gets knocked down and he does not get back up again. Like it's just like he's like laying there on the ground, and then somebody comes and whacks him and he's dead. Once he rises back up.
Right.
Shazam in your ship for ship events. Interesting. I mean, yeah, there's but that's also the other thing too. Crewing just like you would in some other games. Another game that we play a lot is really important. And the way that you crew is very different for ship events than how you crew for Meta Brawl or for training or for anything else. And so, yes, I did. I did just Chumbawamba, Mariko. Yes, I did Chumbawamba.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I think that also too helps you understand the mechanics of the characters better.
True. That is true. Yeah.
For me, it really took me a bit to kind of wrap my brain around the various types, and then I started thinking of them in D&D terms. You have like melee and range characters in D&D, right? Melee are the ones that want to, punch, like they're right in your face. Range tend to, stand back. They're the back row, right? They don't really move. Except sometimes there are opponents that's all they do is they target your range. They lob things at your back row. So then you want to reverse it. You want to put some melees in the back that move forward, and you don't have stationary targets necessarily, as many stationary targets for people that can just lob bombs at them. So I mean, there are some advantages to mixing it up like that, and that's the thing that I find really worthwhile, is figuring that out. Like, oh, if I take one of the characters that kind of moves around a little bit, like Crypto doesn't stay in one place. Neither does Nightwing.
Right.
Nightwing is one of my strongest characters. He's all
cool.
over the place, right?
Yeah.
I put him in the front row for a lot of things because he's going to jump to the back row.
Yeah.
And or Deathstroke will start in the back and jump to the back and to the other side. Yeah, Ranton, exactly. And so you can play with that a little bit and go, okay, if that's going to happen, and I'm thinking about Meta Brawl, a lot of people run Deathstroke in Meta Brawl. They love Deathstroke because he takes out like Joker in like that. Like he's just so fast. If your Joker's not very powerful. But, it could be that's the time. I always tweak my lineup in Meta Brawl based on what I see. Usually it's about shifting Wonder Woman and Superman, or Superman and Scarecrow, depending on the lineup. But like I'll shift which side they're attacking on, so I don't have Superman going up against Superman.
Yeah.
So I'll shift that, but like more times than not, I might change out somebody because I see they're running a specific character, and I go, oh, yeah, that's not going to work with what I have, and then I'll actually go ahead and I'll change it.
That makes sense.
So I like that about Meta Brawl. Now you can't control anything after you click start, right? Like after you engage the fight, there's no manual control of when you trigger ultimates. Same thing with like the strategic combat, right? Like you can't manually control ultimates there either. But it's still interesting. I mean, the thing about strategic combat I like is I can hit the fast forward button really fast. Like I just want to get to the result. I actually don't want to watch that. I just want to get to the result. And the computer already knows it. The RNG's already calculated it from the second you hit start. So just show it to me.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
And in that case, I can get through those 3x3s very fast because I'm not going to manually control those. You can't. So anyway, I have to go.
Okay.
But I look forward to having future conversations with you about this game on your stream because it's fun to talk about.
Yeah, no.
And I love these characters.
I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out.
I forgot the last thing I was going to mention. I was really glad that they gave Barbara the ability, the special ability about the library. Because it was an irritation that I had. I mean, it made sense that she would have a buff on working on the chips, but I really liked when they made her a librarian. So I'm like, that's correct. Like that, that is also correct. She can work on Wayne chips, but she also should be the librarian. And like I have a 19% buff from her, and then somebody else is like 11, or 12. So I like that.
Cool.
Now, does the library help you much? I don't know. That's the thing I haven't quite figured out, and I'm looking forward to hearing more about, because they changed how all of these work, right? So this is about output. But output of what? The cache up top? Or any of the others? Like, what's the difference between library and the generation that you get or the buff you get on Biolab, right?
Yeah, I think Lounge is the one that affects the other ones. And then Power Plant, you get the additional production. So right now I'm at 20% additional production. It
Yeah, I mean,
doesn't
power
it doesn't
plant you want
show
to
anything
max.
here, but
Well, and you mentioned that you didn't have somebody in research, and I'm the same way. Like, why am I going to waste somebody on research if I'm not researching
yeah,
anything?
yeah. And
So,
I actually
yeah.
use this to score points in our weekly event. So because I'll use the drones to
Yep.
score more points. So I don't really want to
Yes.
speed it
Yes.
up at all.
That's
So
correct.
yeah.
It's a little like if for STFC people, it's a little like when you have Lorca and you switch between his buff on
Who's Lorca?
artifacts and forbidden tech. Who's Lorca? Let's talk about Lorca
No.
in a totally different game. All right, now I really do have to go. But
Okay.
it was good talking to you.
Yeah.
Good talking to all of you. Good hanging out, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Thank you very much. And if you want to catch Scribbler, she'll be on usually on Mondays
I'll
and
post up the
Thursdays. Yeah.
yeah, I'll post up the grab tap link in your
Okay.
Discord, Dr. Iron Chef.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. You have a good evening. Take care. So glad to have Scribbler here. She's very knowledgeable, but as you also have seen, very entertaining and fun as well. So glad that she was able to stop by a little bit. We have already gone 2 hours. so for a test stream, I guess we're in it right now. We were explaining a little bit about the different things. There is again in the Bat Cave. There is a Bat's train station, and so we'll load this up a little bit and explain what happens. This is our league Bat train. It happens about once a day, runs for about 4 hours. You saw how I was able to attack one of the trains earlier, but we do have different cargo stations here, and you can kind of click on these and see which ones you want to join. I usually click on the second one, and so I'm able to put in some of the heroes and join in. And what will happen is our train will get attacked. And because I have the highest power in this carriage, I'll be attacked first. And then whoever gets appointed here, which is usually our highest ranked player, is kind of the secondary defense line. So you're trying to protect your cargo from being taken from other leagues. And I think we do a pretty good job. We have good power across the board, so we don't have to worry too much about that. The free swag Scribbler is always great to have around. She is a much better streamer than I am. so it's always a good thing. And thanks for all of you for hanging out. Again, we're simulcasting live on YouTube and Twitch, testing things to make sure that they work so we can stream on a regular basis. We'll probably stream like once or twice a week. DC Dark Legion will be streaming the other games as well. Aloha Diz podcast, because Dr. Mom's like in class right now. So she's actually 5 o'clock. She's in her study writing group. So she'll be there until like 9 o'clock tonight. She starts at 9 o'clock in the morning classes. And then they have lunch, and then they drive over to someone's house, and then they write their dissertation. So she'll be home around 9 o'clock. But we will probably we'll see how far we go today. We do have to feed the kids in about an hour. I'm not sure what we're going to eat for dinner. We had Wingstop yesterday. So how did she do with her dissertation? She had the proposal defense. We talked a little bit about this on the other stream. She had a proposal defense on Tuesday, and she was like super nervous about it because her dissertation chair, who's a very nice lady and very much a mentor, she was also her chair for her master's program. So we're very glad that she was able to chair her dissertation as well. Was saying like, oh, you can reschedule if you want to. And I think that put a little doubt in her mind, like maybe I should reschedule. So we had pretty much, no, you're ready. You've been ready for months. and the committee members, and she has a lot of committee members. I'm not sure how she was able to get so many people, but I think she has like 6, if not, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6. When I had my committee, it was 4. So she has a few more. I think she might have 7, or at least another person advising her. So that that's really good. And they sent the nicest emails afterwards. So I think that uplifted her spirits, and she was able to kind of do well. But she did awesome. I mean, I didn't get a chance to sit in or anything, but from what I understand from the responses, they had questions, which is appropriate. I sit on some dissertation committees, but and sometimes people are ready to present and people are not. But she was more than ready. She was able to answer the questions. The questions she couldn't answer, she said, like anything else, she'll look into it and try to get the answers back to the committee members. But she is kind of onto the next phase of the data collection that she needs to do, and that's one of those things. This is so interesting. I mean, it's a nice thing in the game. There is a community creator guide. So they do promote the content creators on the Discord and in game. So it's kind of a neat thing that we see here. But yeah, they do a lot of stuff within the game to drive them to their Discord and then to their alternative website. So I thought that's pretty cool. Scribbler was talking about our 3 versus 3. This event just ended. You put in your heroes and you kind of have to balance out the team. So it's best 2 out of 3 matches. If you win the first 2, of course, you don't have to worry. This is my setup. A lot of people put their weakest team up in the first one. I kind of switch it up a little bit, but you kind of just have to allocate your team differently. And I didn't put Death Metal Wonder Woman in here because, well, I think it's because she was lower level I didn't star her up until later on. So thank you, Falcon Paul. Yeah, she's plugging away. I'm very proud of her for sure. So seems like a mesh of different, so there's different events, and of course it's all DCIP, which I think is really good because it's not just like one thing you do. And again, there's a lot of, as Scribbler was saying, there's a lot of strategy in terms of how you use your heroes, and what, like, Ranson, did you get the higher ranking, or is that Blaze? Oh, it's Blaze. So Blaze is really good. Of course, our friend Lorian is here. You see a lot of our friends from our other game that signed up because of Scribbler. She was the one that got them interested in the game and playing. We're able to play together on the same server. So there's this weekly. The weekends is kind of a neat thing. You do get some gems here. When you purchase things, but you can also get them free to play. And this Interstellar Visitor is kind of the time to spend them so you can get a lot more things. So they have drones and mother boxes. These are where some of the characters come out that you can do. So I usually, if I have the ability, get especially these anvils here. So there's up to 30 anvils here. They're the ones that you can get other champions. I'll get this. The only one I kind of skip is this premium legacy piece because I don't use necessarily those pieces on the main characters, but I do use them for kind of secondary, tertiary type of teams. So it's something that's available. I have a bad habit of hoarding a lot of the legacy piece upgrades and also the character upgrades because I worry that I'm not going to be able to compete in our weekly events. And then these are probably the most important things for your heroes besides getting the heroes startup is you get these magic eyes, which you can tier up their special legacy pieces to increase their power as well. So I will get all 3 of these. And we won't be able to star up because we get points during the week if we do that on the day of the event for building up your champions. So we have all of those. We collected that. That's pretty good for there. Everyone's passing this week. Yeah, and I'm not sure how necessarily I feel about that because I having the combat cycle and having this bonus points, and I'm worried that there's extra space here. Like if there's a death metal Batman, is that gonna be another slot here? Or is it going to just switch the character who's the featured champion, right? So I'm a little concerned that there's more space to put in like 3 champions if you want to, or 2. So a star up feature champion to increase their bonus. So right now, because it's in the purple star range, is at 40%, but you can go all the way up to 50%. So this one champion, acquired or not, can affect the whole combat cycle, which, I think that's intentional, and I think that they wanted to add it in. But I kind of understand if you don't have the champion, how this is a really great event that it could throw you off on that one. So legacy Amazon Shield is the best use of that legacy piece. Okay, yeah, I agree. Some people say so. Okay, we'll look at the so everyone kind of knows what Ranson is talking about. And thanks you for being here and hanging out, Ranson. It's so nice to have you. I appreciate all the things you do for our league, and I think if we go through like a server merge, we'll be well prepared to deal with any kind of other things. But I think that's because of your leadership. I mean, truthfully, it's not always very organized like this in other leagues or alliances or whatnot. So, okay. So sorry, I'm in the wrong space. That's the champions, which you can see their legacy pieces, but there's also these here where you can get the Mythic Plus legacy pieces. So these are each available for the champion. So this is the newest character that's coming to the game, which is the Riddler. And Riddler seems to be going to be a good character to have moving forward. We will see that when actually he's playable at higher star levels. But right now, just introduced into the game. We're on a different bleed calendar than the main servers, so we won't see him for a while. I think it's on Wonder Woman. Do I have the Amazonian piece on Wonder Woman? Yeah, okay. So this is one Ransom was talking about. This is the Amazonian alloy shield. It gives additional pluses up for HP, and then penetration, defense, and critical damage resistance. So increases the wearer's physical and spiritual defense by 8%. The wearer gains 1 stack of Amazonian protection when attacked. And then total up to 5, equal to 5% of the max HP cooldown. So I do like that they spell everything out, and you can do the math in your head. Really, I can't do the math in my head. But we try to understand how all these things work. I am working on something to get some of this data available. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull it off, but I think we're going to try and get all the data together in a spreadsheet and see how it goes. And then these casting things is like I have one of the shield upgrades, so I can upgrade when the time comes, usually on the champion build. time on Tuesdays for us. So, all right. I think I got to figure out why things weren't doing so well in the bleed. I do want to pull some of our Starfire. Starfire is a really good champion, a healer. I am not able to pull up too much stuff right now. I'm not sure. This screen is, I think I might have to restart the client, but we won't worry about that now. So I'm going to draw. I do have 90 shards because I did get some. Wait, maybe I should. Okay. So we can do the anvils also on the weekly events, but we're 13 draws away. I'm not sure where we are. It's a gacha game, so they do give pity, which is great. I like that they have a pity system. So you guarantee the character after a certain amount of pulls. In this case, it's 200 maximum, although the average is about 100 or so where you get the character. As you can see, Starfire is here. They also give a strategy guide, which means that, it tells you like these are recommended lineups that you have some synergy with the other characters. She is part of the Outsiders group, but also Teen Titans. So you can actually, match her up with some of the Teen Titans as well. So yeah, that's part of it. So thank you, Ranson. We'll catch you later. More games should have a reasonable pace. Yeah, that's good. And it gives you details. What I do like is that it gives you all the different percentages. So when you do a pull on a Mythic Champion, you have a 26.9% that you'll get Starfire, or you get some of the other Mythic Champions. So Starfire will be considered a Mythic Plus, a regular Mythic Champion here, and then the other percentages of this. So you get a little bit better percentage with this. So a combined 36.5%, which equals about 12% for each of these characters, and then 3% or a little bit closer to 4% for all these other mythic characters. You can also get some of the mythic legacy pieces here. The Amazonian Shield is one of them. T-Sphere Weakness Analyzer, I think, is another really good legacy piece for maybe if you want to put it on Nightwing because of the attack. That's something. And then they also have the legendary characters, which they which usually are very easy to tier up because they're available in the mother boxes as well. Epics are here as well. You should get all those maxed in the first couple weeks, pretty much. Not used very often, but something early in the game is available for you to use. They give you the details of how they are done. I'm not going to go through all of this, but the odds and everything else. You also get shards guaranteed for the first 6 non-limited mythic characters. So if you pull one of the characters that is not a mythic plus, but a regular mythic, you'll get extra shards of Starfire, 2 to 5 different shards of Starfire, which you can use to tier her up as well. But one of the best thing is that you can track your pulls. And this goes back the last 6 months. I have 202 pages of this, 5 on each page. But it tells you, which characters you got, when was the last one. So again, using the pity system, I'm finding that, okay, I did pull Starfire. There are 3 regular mythics that usually get pulled before as a pity. So you're guaranteed Starfire as the 4th mystic pull, but you could actually pull her right away because, again, there's a percentage that is available there as well. But there's a pay system where every 50 pulls, you're guaranteed a mythic, and then every 4th pull, you're guaranteed the mythic plus. So you can get Starfire with 1 pull after you pull, or you can get her 200 pulls afterwards. It's just a matter of how the RNG works in your favor. So, but at least I can tell, like, I am on, and I kind of use this where, I am on I pulled 3 mythics. I am like 10 shards away. I'm guaranteed to get my mythic plus, or because there's 3 of them right now, I can switch to someone else and say, I want to guarantee that I get this mythic plus or this mythic plus. and then go back to pulling here to get some of the extra shards. So there's a little bit of strategy. What you will find out is sometimes you'll pull for the extra shards of this one, but you actually get a full pull of that character as well, which has happened with Deathstroke. I was trying to pull just some extra shards because I needed 5 extra. I did a full pull, which is great because it was right after another full pull of Starfire. So I'm not going to worry too much about this. So this one should be a guaranteed mythic. We will do a pull because there's 3 pulls. I'll draw 10, and there should be a red graphic that comes up here, which tells me that I have gotten a mythic character, and this one is the penguin. And as you can see here, we're within the first 6 pulls of the regular mythics with Starfire, so I got 2 extra shards. So, and then it will show all the different pulls I got as well. So yeah. So I'm not too sad about that. We'll save the rest of the anvils for Tuesday when we have you can get points in the Supreme Commander area. So this is kind of what it is. You get different rewards depending on how you finish with your league. I did get 12 of the magic eyes because I finished in the top 10. Again, Ranson beat me a little bit for that. Starfire is one of the characters of the month. The bleak calendar goes every Mythic Plus character runs for 28 days, so 4 weeks, and they'll rotate in our rotation. Every 2 weeks there'll be a new one that comes in, so they're staggered a little bit. So it started off with Superman for 4 weeks. He was the only mythic character. Then 2 weeks afterwards they introduced the Joker. The Joker ran for 28 days. When Superman's 28 days ran out, they brought in Deathstroke as the new character. So they kind of every 2 weeks they'll be the same character, and then they'll switch out the one that's running out of their 28 days. In this case, they're doing reruns. So that's why there's 3 these reruns of the characters. Deathstroke was again the 3rd Mystic character, Mythic Plus character that came out. They're doing a 1-week rerun, so we can actually get more shards off of Deathstroke here. So that's kind of how it's working right now. They did a special rerun of Superman when the movie came out, which was kind of fun. And then they'll do eventually Joker will come around because I think maybe some people were expecting Joker to come around, but they're not putting the reruns in the exact order they were the first time around. And we have I'm going to say we have about 8 more characters that haven't even gone through their first run. So we'll see a lot more of the heroes coming out soon as well. Wait, in the Discord, Scribbler is going to put the code. And here's the thing too. If you guys want, we could actually do an event, maybe. Tibbs plays the game as well. Samo played the game a little bit, but I think she stopped playing the game. Maybe we can do something with Tibbs. Let's. I know some of you might want to run it, but let me talk to Tibbs, and he's trying to raise some money to come out to Hawaii. I'm wondering if he would be interested in doing a game stream, kind of similar to what Scribbler did to get us all involved in the game. And then we can get everyone on the same server because it's more fun if we're all on the same server. That's the thing, right? If you're on different servers, then it's not you're playing the game, but then you might not know everybody, which you can make new friends. I'm not saying that's not possible, but it might be more fun to get some of our players from the other game that we play all together on the same server. And I think that's the neat thing. It was very kind of them to adopt us into C9, which is our league, because we're all in the Speakeasy Scribblers League to begin with. And we didn't get as many players as we wanted to. But this might be an opportunity to get more players in and do something kind of together. So if you want to download the game, I'm not going to stop you from downloading the game. But if you want to wait a little bit, let me talk to Tibbs and see if we can get everyone together. And hopefully we can do that within the next week or so. And if not, it could be that we get someone else to run the campaign. There's not a lack of streamers, for sure. There might be someone that's interested, someone that's in the chat right now too. But we'll see. Let me talk to Tibbs first, and he might be interested. All right. I don't think I did. Did I do a shout out? If not, it doesn't matter. We'll do one. So make sure you check out Mord. Let's see. So I'm just collecting a whole bunch of stuff. There is a lot of collecting, which is very, I mean, it's small amounts, but everything counts. So they want to drive you to different locations. This is the shop, right? So you can actually purchase stuff in the shop. There are higher level packs, but these are daily. So you can each day pull a $5 pack for different rewards. There's weekly bundles, which get a little bit more pricier, although they do give a weekly $4.99 pack as well. So this is a $4.99 pack. You only get one per week. There are some other things that you can get purchased that you want to get extra rewards. So you can purchase this $19 one and you get all these rewards if you want to collect them. And then gems, which is not something I necessarily recommend because you have, again, you see the percentages here. But in reality, you'll get better percentages with all of these. Plus, I think they're worth more nonetheless because you got to convert gems to get these things anyway. So it's probably a place where you're not going to get as much bang for your buck with everything. So yeah, that's part of it. Let me, I'm gonna, since Scribbler's not here, I'm gonna turn up the music a little bit and see if we can get this going again. All right. So I'm trying to figure out. So we're talking a little bit about the stamina. This is where you put in your different characters and you have them in a rest area as well. So right now these guys are resting, and I'll deploy them back because some of them have higher abilities than the current characters that are in the slots to boost production for different things. Like this one, there's an up arrow here. So I already know that there's people resting here that would produce more than 19% on the power supply, which gives us a bigger boost. So I might actually move them over right now because they're almost at full stamina. So, okay, maybe I'll show this a little bit better. So it's, if I take off the character, right now it's production out of the 2 power plants is enough to produce a 30% boost for everything else. But if I were to put Black Adam back in, then it drops down to 20% because his boost is enough to meet the production value. So that's where I'll get a 10% boost from everything by putting in a different character, and that goes across the board with all of these other areas. So the power is important to boost everything else that we're trying to boost here. So yeah, see, productivity went up. There's a calendar, in-game calendar as well. So it tells you all the different events, which I love. So I can just go here and I know today is Sunday because it is on UTC time. So it's 3 a.m. UTC. We have when everything is run. There's a Guardians Challenge. Supreme Commander just wrapped up, so we were able to collect the rewards today. And then Ultimate Battle of Forgotten is an event that we ran this morning. So yeah, so there's different events. It gives you a schedule that we didn't win here, so our league came in second, but WoW it's a pretty good league. So I match up sometimes with some of them. I finished 20th because I was in a meeting. Sorry, so I wasn't able to participate as much. I was in a meeting most of the event. So yeah, so that's that's a lot of the game. You can I'm trying to see if there's anything here. There's a top part of the Bat Cave, and what Scribbler was talking about was some of the narratives are here. There's you click on them and you can make choices. Thank you for your efforts, and then they talk back to you. But it's mostly because they'll give a small reward. You can get the reward here. These are the chips that come out. We need a lot more, but that helps. Every little bit helps, I think. So you can just click through them. As for me, I don't read the missions, the narratives as much. I know Scribbler does, and she could have wrote them. She could have been the one to write them if she had been part of the group that did it. We just had this Halloween event. I keep on clicking on it because there's a pip. They added in these extra ones here. This is 0. I'll just take it. But I can't use it anymore. So it'll probably get converted to something. These were the shards that you get the Death Metal Wonder Woman. Very expensive, but well worth it for me, I guess. So you can convert them here. They were event exclusive, although the Discord said that they are going to provide some kind of means to acquire her beyond the event, which is good. So you might be a way to acquire her as well. You can help your alliances. There's a help thing. You get some of these points that you can convert to more rewards for yourself by helping someone out. There's these chests that you can claim because alliance members purchase something. League members purchase something. So yeah, this is the Umbral Rift. This is kind of a team event. I got confused with what Scribbler was asking about earlier, but you can participate as a alliance here all together. You're trying to defeat this giant Deathstroke, basically damage him to acquire points for that as well. We were playing this earlier. This is Darkest Timeline, and it allows you to get some rewards based upon progression through different areas. So I'm doing this to get some of the points. So I'll run this really quick. But yeah, so that's pretty much what it is. So I'll actually we'll select this and run this and see how it is. I'm not sure why the dog is barking. The dog seems to either want to come in or alert us to something, or it's probably hungry. But I did feed the dog. But he is pounding at the door. Yeah, it is a fun game, and like I said, we've been playing for 5 months, and it's a game I play every day. I might actually play this game a little bit more than some other games. But that's because I'm trying to get all the rewards. You don't have to play like that. You can play a little bit more casual. But I'm in here a lot. I think the main thing with the game is that just log in on different times of the day if possible, because they have different rewards that come out. I mentioned the store. There's a special store where you can claim things based upon what you have in your inventory to collect them, or gems. That's every 8 hours. And then the missions that come out that you can actually help your alliance mates and do certain things to collect additional rewards. That's every 6 hours. But the nice thing is that it's not like you're locked in with the 6 hour events, because they carry over. So they'll carry over for I think it's for a full day. So if you missed it in that 6 hours, you can still do them for the rest of the day. Just gotta cycle through them, and the next 6 hours you're gonna have double the amount of things to collect. So it's just a matter, you're gonna be clicking more if you just try to do everything if you miss the first cycle. Yeah, I really enjoy the game. The community seems to be pretty cool, and that's important. That's important to me. Let me move Sharky back over a little bit. I'm realizing he is a little off center. And let me know if the music's too loud. I did turn the music on. It's more background music than anything else. We're not very often used to having a lot of music in the background. Okay, so we got that. I just realized Sharky is not moving how I want him to move. Yeah, so this is the crisis events, and it's 3 different areas that you have to progress through. And it gets a little bit harder each time, so you have to build up your team in the correct way to defeat the final boss. You remember the commands? I haven't put up the commands in such a long time. Yeah, that is dense. I'm surprised it still works. It's been a while since I did that. I should put that on screen. Do I have a listing of that? Boy, this is how long we haven't shown that. It's when I had the Aloha, the studio computer that we're using now, upstairs, and it was the Later Tonight studio. So it still works. Some of these things still work. I don't know if I have a text overlay of all this stuff, but there's inputs. I think there is chicken, exclamation point chicken, and I don't have the AI set up. So that's the unfortunate thing, is the AI is not set up. I think Macarena, the exclamation point Macarena might work, or maybe not. Who knows? I don't know what's active and what's not. Money, exclamation point money might work. That's all I can remember right now. No, chicken doesn't work. Okay, chicken doesn't work. Yeah, see? It's raining money. Yeah, maybe not everything is up to speed. It's a secret menu, like the secret menu at McDonald's. Boy, what am I looking for with Sharky? There's a wobble thing. What is this? I don't know if I like that. He's moving around too much. Okay, let's see. I don't want that. Sorry, I'm gonna have to move Sharky a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, there's the kisses one. I'm not sure if that's available. There's kisses. There is confusion. That's hard to see too. And then, of course, the hearts. Their hearts are really tiny. What am I looking for? I'm looking for. Boy, I'm missing Okay, I just want to make it. No, don't want that. He's walking. There's another one. That's sitting. I don't know if I want him sitting. Where's he gonna put his legs? Oh, explaining. I want the explaining one. Because it sounds like he knows what he's talking about. Right? So he's like doing stuff, and like this one is a little bit more like, I'm just telling you what to do and you should do it. But yeah, this one's like, Yeah, I'll leave it on this. It kind of looks like he's knows what he's talking about. All right, here we go. So I'm not sure if I'm doing this right, but I usually just try to star up the different characters. Okay, ad breaks in progress. I'm gonna get something really quick to drink. So Sharky can, I think Sharky can dance. Let's have Sharky dance for right now. All right, we're back. Sorry, just needed some iced tea and took a little bio break. Yeah, I don't know if it does the Macarena. Wait, hold on. It does that one. All right. Let's advance to the boss of this area. You better turn this off. Oh, here's the chicken dance. But let's go. He can explain some more stuff. Okay, so wait, air conditioning is a little cold. Yeah, this is a one-time speed, so I can speed it up a little bit. Oh, I didn't change my characters. Shucks. Oh, Wonder Woman fell. That's okay. We'll recover. We'll get Raven and Batman and Constantine is really good, and so is the Joker. But okay, so if I go here, I'll show you what can happen. Is that Wonder Woman fell, but I can resurrect her because comic book heroes don't die. So we'll have that available. Wonder Woman back. And I'm gonna eat some cookies if you don't mind. So if you hear me crunching, apologize. It's cookie time. All right, hit auto. I'm just gonna do auto. Yeah, something is wrong with my settings. So I can do a couple of things. I might reduce Sharky's resolution, but it doesn't seem like I'm maxing out the CPU or the GPU. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm only at 32% on the CPU. What is my GPU? I'm only at 43% on the GPU. So why am I? It could be BlueStacks. So I might change the settings on this. Justice League. Okay. So normally Raven wouldn't be in the front row, but that's how it's stacking up right now. If I do auto. Death Metal Wonder Woman. So this one I can change some of the abilities. So I lose 30%, but I can recruit Mystic Champions. I'm going to do this one. This one looks better than this one. But I can choose. Maybe we'll do this. We'll get Batman and Nightwing. Okay, 5 stars on Batman. And all I'm going to do is recover some of the HP I just lost. So we lost 50%, we'll get 50% back. Let's see. There's a Batman exclusive skill and a Justice League one. What is this? There. Yeah, let's see if we can get past the second level. Oh, wait on. I forgot to put one of the characters in. 1 second. We might go Bat Family on this. Okay, last round. And you can totally see that this is a mobile game made for the phone. Let's resurrect. Don't tell Scribbler, but we made all the music over the last couple days. Did I mention that earlier? I think I might have. Oh, this looks like an interesting lineup. Let's try this. Nice. Start up. Oh, I'm gonna lose some HP here. Trying to figure out which explaining version I want for Sharky. Red is usually better. But there's a champion section one here. All right, our characters are mostly Bat Family, so we got to concentrate on that if there's anything. Not much. No, not much at all. We'll do this. All right, we'll see how this goes. Doesn't look good. It's okay. I wonder if I should put Batman. I don't think this make a difference. We got 2 healers in here. All right, we'll try it. If it doesn't work, we'll switch up the team before they all die. Nope, already fell. I should have healed. I didn't think about that. They're all. That's my little Wonder Woman's not doing too well there. Here. Or you know what? I'll put her in the back row for now. That might buy us some time. Oh, she fell again. Let me put Dr. Faith. Now, if we can't figure this out, then oh well. A good try. No, not gonna do it. Okay, that's okay. I mean, can't win them all. Where's my I'm missing my back button. Oh, what happened? Okay, I'm gonna restart the client real quick and we'll see if that fixes anything. Hi, Naz. Yeah, only one game at a time can have a back button. Good to see you, Naz. Aloha to you too. Well, if this doesn't work, we might wrap up a little bit. No audio on that. What? Okay, so this is kind of our test stream for the new game. So if there's no audio, let me open up the... That was a blurb, yeah? Okay, let me see what is going on with that. Let me log in real quick. Thank you for testing it out, because we wouldn't have known otherwise. Okay, my stream. Can I play it in the... Okay, remove from library. Okay, where is it? I can play it on my stuff. I can't play it on... View in Stream Editor? No. Okay, I have no idea what happened there. I'm sorry, Naz. I'll get it fixed. Where is the test on screen? Alerts? Did that one work? Well, that's a sound alert. But you did a blurb. So... Why is the blurb not working? Streamer tools, browser source is operational. Twitch extension not installed. What? Okay, I'm installing the Twitch extension. I have no idea why that's not there. It should be there already. Set as panels 3. Okay, viewer attack is on panel 3. Okay. Maybe it's best I don't I don't mess around with it. Okay, panel 1 is sound alerts, stream stickers. Everything is there already. That's probably why. Okay. I think my computer needs to be rebooted because things aren't working. But I'll take care of Inaz one way or another. Neither had audio on it. Neither had audio on it. Okay, I'm trying it now. Can anyone else hear that? No, thank you, Naz. Did that come out? Nada. Okay. You know why? Because it shows that it's outputting. So I wonder if it's under my advanced audio properties and if it's an active source, because that could be it. So we're looking at blurp. It says blurp is monitor and output. I'm just going to turn monitor off real quick. I'm going to try to play it again.
Aloha, this where dreams come true. Bring the magic right to you. Island vibes and skies of blue.
Wait, it worked that time?
Aloha, this is excitement.
That's so strange. It should be working. It was a monitor and output. I'm going to do it one more time because then I can hear the blurp. It could just be OBS reset. I just need to reset OBS. I'm going to do the same thing with stream stickers. And stickers. Here's stickers. I'm going to change it monitor off. Okay, let's try. Anything on that? No audio. Okay. I guess it must be OBS because it says it's outputting, but it was doing this with some other stuff too earlier. So I always enjoy that one. So same. Okay. Let's see. Just turn monitor off, monitor off. Oh, it's this one.
Yo,
Oh, you're all
Iron
talking our
Chef.
TV voice tonight?
God, Iron Chef has a sexy voice too. God, I should just quit. I should just quit. I need to retire.
Yes, DJ, please quit.
No audio. Oh, maybe I got
Quality.
Oh, it's working. So I gotta leave a monitor for it. Well, hopefully it's just for the stream, and then that's the case for that. Okay, so obviously it is my BlueStacks. So it's not the game itself. It's my BlueStacks. It's not working quite right. So we'll have we'll reload everything else. Sharky dancing again. I get the feeling something's wrong with OBS. And that's not an easy fix while you're streaming. Because I just loaded the game back up, but it's not showing on stream. The window is not showing up on screen. Well, I think that might be it for us tonight then. It's probably a OBS thing. So, well, thanks for joining us. I do appreciate it. We'll do a little bit more DC Dark Legion once we get some of the bugs fixed with OBS. That's the only thing I can think of, is that there's just something wrong with the install. And there's not much you can do about that right now. But we will raid out to, of course, our friend Ultimate DJs, who is throwing down on his DJs Plays channel. So yeah, thanks for being here, and we will be on tomorrow. I gotta talk to Tibbs. Let me talk to Tibbs about what we want to do, and we'll see if he wants to play the game or not. I'm not sure if I can. That's the thing. I gotta look at everything. So, but we'll raid out to DJs. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. We will see you real soon, and we'll talk more DC Dark Legion in a little bit. So we'll raid on over. Have a great evening. Have a great rest of the weekend. Ahui ho.